Happy Earth Day, everyone! Welcome back to my channel. This is our Simple Abundance year with Sarah Breathnach's book, Simple Abundance. And I wanted to show you guys, this is the clipping of the azalea bush that I mentioned in a recent video. And it's interesting too, the way that it's blossomed here in the kitchen, and outside the bush itself has not. And it might be just because it's been really cold out there, and then we've had some wind and rain, so the buds on the bush itself are holding back, but these are so beautiful. And that is one of my favorite colors. I have a lot of, I've mentioned I like purple, but I have a lot of, this is like a pinky purple color, a lot of clothes and accessories in those colors. So how are you doing on this Earth Day? Personally wish it was a little bit warmer. We've been having a lot of cold, rainy weather, but the sun is out. It's pretty windy. Today is April 27th, or oh my God, 22nd. My vision is sometimes questionable. Anyway, 22nd, and it's Earth Day, like I said, and it's appropriate because I think this is a great entry. It's called Sensory Awakening, and I mentioned when we went through the April Joyful Simplicities from the book here that one of the things that we'd be doing this month is to start to explore the various senses. So just like when we went through our house and our closets and things like that and started to explore color, now we're going to be exploring the senses, all the senses. I'm going to read Sarah's words. We were created to experience, interpret, and savor the world through our senses. Our ability to smell, taste, hear, touch, see, and intuit. Although we are sentient beings with the capability to, quote, preserve the world with all its gushing beauty and terror right on our pulses, as poet, pilot, author, explorer, and naturalist Diane Ackerman tells us in her exquisite book, A Natural History of the Senses, most of our journey is a dull trance, asleep to the mystery of everything about us. I would agree. I don't know that unless I actually make a conscious effort to bring things like smell and taste and things that I want to hear into my environment, do I really enjoy those things. I think, you know, I'm sort, whoa, it's so windy. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Well, there's a hearing thing that I'm hearing. But I think that I remember the first time I read this book in the last few years when I was going through it again, that once I started to be aware of my environment, like I've mentioned that I like to diffuse essential oils and things, but like I went out and got cinnamon sticks and did some spices on the stove, so it just made that smell in the house that smells so good. And then I was more aware of, remember the smells when your mom was cooking when you were growing up and you knew dinner was coming, and there were these just like garlic, onion sort of smells and things like that. So when I'm cooking, I think about those things. And I mentioned to you guys already as far as hearing what I do with my CDs in the car. And I really enjoy picking out music that I love. And I think sometimes too on YouTube, you can just put in something like guitar music or classical or opera or things like that. I think about the things that I want to be hearing in the background, especially in my home office. And I have a kitty that I'm hearing all the time. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. I was going to mention to you guys, I was doing a FaceTime with a friend the other night, and she was acting just like she does when I do the videos, where she was, you know, doing all kinds of stuff in the background. And even though she thought I was probably doing a video for YouTube, and even though it wasn't going live, she was still trying to be the star of it. Yes, you are. In order to awaken and, quote, to begin to understand the gorgeous fever that is consciousness, we must try to understand the senses. That's another quote from Diane Ackerman. And I have to say, I have not gotten that book before. I know that was one of the Joyful Simplicities too, which was to check out that book. So I will have to check it out. Maybe I can get it on audio. For the next week, this is Sarah speaking, I'm going to ask you to pause a moment each day with me and marvel at the natural gifts that have been so richly bestowed upon us. Today, look at the blue sky. Hear the grass growing. That's interesting. Inhale the scent of spring. Let the fruit of the earth linger on your tongue. Reach out and embrace those you love, if you can, comfortably and safely. Ask Spirit to awaken your awareness to the sacredness of your sensory perceptions. I think you could sit down with your journal and maybe split up the page by the various senses and list out some things that you like to see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and see how you can easily bring those in. It might be, like these don't have a real fragrance, but it might be that there might be flowers that you could bring in that you would smell every day. It could be, like I said, doing those mulled spices on the stove, or maybe you like candles or essential oils, or diffuse something else like those tart warmers and things. I love smells. They say sometimes I think that smell is one of the most sensitive things as far as bringing you back to various memories. So think about the smells. Like, I love the smell of cut grass when somebody's mowing it in the neighborhood. It makes me think of spring and summer. So things like that you can, just so that you're aware, and then think about how you could bring those into your life. We have a kitty. I hope you're doing well. I hope even if it's cold and windy wherever you are today, that you can just go out and look up at the sky. I'm wondering if any of you guys checked out the meteors we had a meteor event that was happening. I was going to set my alarm to get up early. I think they said between 4 and 5 this morning, but I looked at the weather and it was going to be cloudy, and I didn't do it. If I had done it, I was going to videotape for you guys so that you knew that I was up, and maybe I would have even seen the sunrise like we talked about that one time. But I didn't do it. I slept. Hope you're sleeping well. Hope you're doing well. Stay well, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for being here.